Right then, there was a question about sandals correcting HAV, and this is a very little brief bit about HAV, which is one of the reasons why no, they wouldn't. One tends to imagine if these are the metatarsals and there's the phalanx, as in metatarsals, phalanges, that an HAV is what happens when it does that. That the toe goes over inwards, and that if we were to push it that way, then we might be able to straighten it. Problem is that is only a very small part of what happens. It generally starts with the first metatarsal going out that way, which is not all that surprising, because a foot is basically a slightly shit hand, and if you look at your hand, you've got the full raise going in one direction and the thumb which is stuck out to the side and designed to be opposable, and this is what the foot is doing with an HAV. The first met is going out that way. Now generally that would mean that you would end up with a foot that was that shape, with all these other toes that I couldn't be bothered to cut out going straight. But of course that doesn't work with a shoe, because the toe would get in the way. So the shoe pushes the big toe over that way, and that's where you get your HAV and your sticky out joint. So the problem with the idea of splinting is that, generally speaking, all you are doing is trying to straighten that toe. You're pushing in that direction, and of course that does nothing at all to bring the first met back into line. If the first met's already stuck out like that, a splint is only going to push it in that direction, which is probably why, although there is some evidence that in children a night splint can be persuaded to straighten an angle like that, in adults there's very little evidence that night splints do anything at all for HAV, and quite a lot of evidence that they don't, unfortunately.